Well, good day everyone and welcome back to the channel. Here we are up to what I consider the second stage of me making the knives, and that's me going through marking out the handles for where the bolsters are going to be. Then from there working out where the pins are, and then center punching. So we'll get all those prepared and then we can start with the drilling of them. Okay, now we're up to the drilling. Now first I go through and I just start the holes on each of them, just so I've got an indent spot, and then I put some cutting lubricant on there and drill them through. So I start with an 1/8 inch bit. Even if I'm going to end up with a 1/4 inch hole, I run the 1/8 inch bit through first. I just find it a little bit easier to run the 1/8 through before I run the 1/4 through. Lots of adjustment and also lots of sharpening of drill bits when I'm working with this carbon steel, because it is fairly hard. Now I did get frustrated with the drill bits and sharpening them up, so I've gone out and I've bought myself another new carbide bit to replace the one that I snapped a couple months back. These things cost about $70 a pop, so as you can imagine, when I busted the last one I was not too happy, but they have a much better durability and they handle that hardened steel much better than a normal steel bit will. Okay, now swapping out for the 1/4 inch bit. This one's still a steel bit. I have got a carbide bit on order. Haven't had one in 1/4 inch before, and once I got the price of ordering it, then I realized why I hadn't had one before. This one's $130 a drill bit, so not cheap, but it's gonna cut a lot better. This is all stainless that you see it at the moment, but so it'll go through fairly easy, but on that hardened carbon steel it is a lot of work to get a 1/4 inch drill bit through. Okay, next we go back to the grinder and just clean up any mess where we've drilled through the steel. So I just want it nice and flat before it gets hardened off. So just both sides on that. And just clean up the drill holes. Nice and simple. Okay folks, there we are, all drilled out. Now we move on to the next stage, which is the heat treatment. So there's all the giveaway knives. So we have Chrissy's knife, Paulla's knife, Paulla's one that she wants as an extra, Shane's one. There we have Renee's, and that one there is one I'm doing for Rick from Lala Farms. So as you can see, I put the extra little holes in them. Now that one's on Paulla's knife, there's not one on Chrissy's knife, so I can tell the difference at any stage. Same down here, because Renee and Rick are after the same sort of knife. I've got the extra hole on Rick's one and no extra hole on Renee's one. Alright, so now we move on to the heat treatment. Now, one of the tools I use for this is my little knife tongs. They're perfect for holding a knife handle. Okay, I've got my gas forge all set up. As you can see, I've got bricks over it. I do need to go through bricks every now and again because the extra heat does destroy them. So I've closed down the air as much as possible at the front, and I've also closed the back door just to keep the airflow down on minimum. Runs on LPG or propane for the Americans. Now for Shane's one, I need to use the thermocouple because stainless steel is a bit trickier in the heat treatment than normal carbon steel. So it's got a really special sort of heat treatment. I'll throw the link out for for the heat treatments that I've done, and that way you can see the two different heat treatments. One's for stainless and one's for carbon steel. For carbon steel, basically I just need to take it up just past non-magnetic, and that's the critical temperature for it, and then everything goes into the oil, and I just use a canola oil for it. I find it works perfectly. You can buy specialist oils, but that's extra money. Okay, once we're out of the quench, we go into the quench plates, and these are just to help cool the blade down and hold it straight as it cools down. So let's jump in, get the forge hot, and get some knives treated. Okay, first one going in, which is Chrissy's knife. We just put that entirely inside and let it come up the temperature. And there's the inside of the forge. As you can see, it's pretty hot. It's sitting at about 1,000 degrees centigrade, so yeah, it's warm. Okay, out we come with a heated knife. Check it up against the magnet, make sure it's non-magnetic, and then straight down into the oil. Just give it a jiggle up and down, just so the oil's moving about and it cools the steel down quickly. Clean off the excess oil, head across the quench plates, just check how straight it is, make sure any bow is facing up, and then when the clamps go on, hopefully it will pull the bows out and give us a straight knife. So on we go with the clamps. Okay, as you can just make out here, I'm using a bar to absolutely crank down on the clamps. I want to get them super tight so they're just pulling any of those bows in. So they are all hardened now. Now they just need to go to the oven and just temper off, just to make it so they're not quite so hard and a little bit more flexible. All right, thank you very much everyone for watching, and bye for now.